Supreme Royal Patron, distinguished and honored guests, honored ladies, sir knights, friends and visitors, good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
It is my distinct privilege to be able to deliver the tribute to the Philippine flag at this supreme session. I was definitely honored and delighted to have been asked to do so. I hope that the tribute to the Philippine flag you will hear tonight will give you some insight as to its history and how the Filipino people have fought and died to defend it and to keep it flying, proud and free. The Philippine flag, as we know it today, is composed of two horizontal stripes in an equilateral triangle on the left side facing the center. In its corner of the triangle is a five-pointed star. At the center of the triangle is the sun with 8 rays. The blue stripe stands for peace, truth, and justice. The red stripe represents bravery and independence. And the white triangle represents liberty, equality, and fraternity. The 3 stars represent the 3 main geographical islands, namely Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The sun at the center of the triangle is an 8-rayed golden sun, symbolizing unity. Golden sun, symbolizing the first 8 provinces that revolted against the Spaniards at the beginning of the Philippine Revolution of 1896. During peaceful times, the flag is flown with a blue stripe above the red stripe. But during times of war and conflict, the flag is flipped so that the red stripe is flown above the blue stripe. The history of the Philippine flag dates back to August 19, 1896, when a group of Filipinos being fed up with the oppressive rule of the Spaniards for over 300 years founded a secret society known as Kataas-Taasan, Kagalang-galangang Katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan, which roughly translated into English as highest and most honorable society of the sons of the nation. This event proved to be the stimulus that started the Philippine Revolution. Filipinos had no national flag at that time, and the revolutionary group knew they had to raise a banner that would represent the country. In the early days of the revolutionary period, the flags that was used to represent the Philippines were mostly created by these katipuneros, as the members of the society were known. These flags were rectangular in shape, depicting 3 white letters, Ks, arranged on a field of red. The 3-letter Ks represented the initial of the Katipunan, and the red field symbolized the blood with which members of the Katipunan signed their oaths upon being inducted into this secret society. During the second phase of the Philippine Revolution, General Emilio Aguinaldo, a prominent revolutionary leader, thought of having a new flag for the Philippines. It was he and other revolutionary leaders who designed a flag, hand-sewn by a group of women led by Marcela Agoncillo. The design of the flag adopted a mythical sun with a face, a triangle representing the Katipunan inspired by the Eye of Providence in the Great Seal of the United States and the Masonic Triangle, and the stripes and colors derived from the American flag. This Philippine flag was displayed during the Battle of Alapan against the Spaniards on May 28, 1898. Then less than a month later, it was again unfurled by General Emilio Aguinaldo in Kawit, Cavite, while proclaiming the Philippine independence from Spain, which was gained with the assistance of the United States Armed Forces. In 1899, hostilities broke out between the Philippines and the United States. against the United States. The Filipino flag was flown with the red field up to show that a state of hostility existed. On March 23, 1901, Aguinaldo was captured by the Americans, and a month later, he swore allegiance to the United States and ceased being president. Resistance continued, however, and while the Philippine insurrection was deemed ended in 1903, armed resistance continued for some years later. On August 23, 1907, the Civil Commission of the United States issued the Sedition Act, declaring it illegal for anyone to display the Filipino flag or any emblems used in the revolution. During the time that followed, however, the Filipinos never gave up their loyalty to their flag. The national colors were used in zarzuela, which was a typical Spanish form of musical theater, in the costumes of actresses as an allegory of the real thing, resulting in the suppression of the zarzuelas under the same Sedition Act. Then, on October 30, 1919, Governor General Francis Burton Harrison signed into law the Philippine Legislatures Act repealing the flag law. The Philippine flag, after 12 long years, can once again be hoisted and flown. However, with the Japanese invasion and occupation of the Philippines in 1941, the Philippine flag was once more banned. It was allowed to be hoisted again with the establishment of the Japanese-sponsored Philippine Republic on October 24, 1943, making the Philippines a client state of Japan. The American forces returned in October 1944 and regained control of the country in 1945. On July 4, 1946, the flag was again hoisted upon the recognition of Philippine independence by the United States. In conclusion, the Philippine flag, one of the national symbols of the country, has a rich story behind it as it stood witness to the glorious events of Philippine history. While it symbolizes the nation's ideals, patriotism, and aspirations, the flag also stands for the freedom and independence that Filipino revolutionary leaders and ancestors had fought, struggled, and died for. It is therefore only fitting that it be treated with profound solemnity, dignity, and respect. Thank you for your attention.